Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in today. Today actually I want to be reviewing a headset which I've had for a while. I've had it for actually over a year, but on like Black Friday a while ago. Now this particular device is the Sony MDR950 BT Bluetooth headset. Now I've long-term used these, so I will say they've been tested, like I said, well over a year. I don't use them a lot, and I'll go into that later, of why that is. Okay. Yeah, basically, just to give you this is actually a case I bought extra. This does not come with these. However, I just thought I would have them in the video because this is actually what I keep them in. Now this case I will actually link also down below. I got this off of Amazon. I do need to research, so I don't want to call the wrong name for it. But I did buy this off of Amazon. It's actually a great case, and it will be linked below. Basically, when you open it up on the case, you have the cord which does come with it. Now I will warn you about cords. I did buy an Anchor cord to replace this cord because I thought it would be a little bit nicer and better, because Anchor cords usually are pretty good. However, the end that plugs into the actual headphones, if you use the wire, is just a hair too big, so it will not connect properly. So that is an issue if you do buy these, trying to find a cord that works with them other than just the Sony one. So when you get them, definitely make sure you keep track of the cord, because it's the only way to guarantee that you have a cord that will work. And it's a great cord. It's just, you know, I like to have extra backups, and it's, unless they cost expensive. The Sony, if you were to buy the Sony replacement wire, is actually kind of expensive for a wire. I was kind of shocked at the price that one of these little cords cost. I'd almost be better off just to buy a brand new set when the battery dies on this one type thing, to get another cord. I will say this is the same cord that also comes with the Sony ones that you get with the PlayStation, which I'll also do a review on those later. I do have those headsets. I'm not a big fan of them, but I will do a review on them. Okay, and then here basically you have your secure straps for your headset. And these are actually your extra bass Bluetooth headsets. Now I do love listening to music in these. However, if you're going to be active, I don't recommend them. They do not stay in your head properly. And they're really good in isolating. They do have ones that are out there now. It's about, I think, $100 more. I think these are still in the market. The other ones, it's a slightly different name, and they have noise cancellation on them, but they're easily $100 more for that pair. And these are pretty good. I mean, I listened to these on the plane, and I had no issues. You know, that's right beside the engine too. So I mean, I don't even know if it's necessary to have a noise cancellation. I'm sure in certain noise environments it's great, but I mean, these pretty much do the trick. The only thing, if you're just running with them, you're fine. If you're probably just doing elliptical, they're probably not going to fall off. If you start doing things like fast moves, like fall off. The first set actually I had to return. Luckily I had bought the extended warranty with them. I did a pull-up, and they fell completely off. And they were completely secure before I started the pull-up. Because they do sit on there kind of snug, but when you start moving, they will fall off unless it's, like I said, you can run with them, no problems. I've done that plenty of times. You can do your basic elliptical, stuff like that. But when it comes down to doing fast, like up and down movements, or will fall off, and they will crack, because they're not exactly metal. They do look metal, but they're really not. It's just the coating on there. But typically where they'll crack, when they do, which this one hasn't, thank goodness, yet. But they'll usually crack somewhere in this general vicinity, or somewhere around here, when they do crack. Now this top part is metal, but that's about the only part that's actually metal on these guys. Now I will say, as far as sound quality, is amazing. I've never turned these fully up, which is weird because usually on all my headphones I turn them all the way up. But it's loud enough I don't need to. Now on these you do have your fast forward, your reverse, your play, pause. You also have your volume rocker. Then on the other side you have your power. So I'll go ahead. Actually, I better not turn that on because it might cause an issue, because these are paired with everything I have. You have your bass boost button, and they do light up when you hit the power. There's a light for that, and there's actually a power for bass boost. Now there is a spot for the mic, and the mic is decent. It's not like an LG grade, but LG's has actually kind of fell behind, which I will do a video on LG Bluetooths and where they've kind of gone. I haven't reviewed any of their ones that just came out, but I did have the Infinitums, the last gen and the current and the gen after, and I've had LG Tones from the original up to the most recent Pros, I believe it was. And I can pretty much give you my thoughts and feelings on those also. There's also your standard micro USB. Like I said, I only really use these when I'm like editing or something like that. They're great for that. Actually, I had a friend that was in college for sound, audio sound, and he used these when he was actually editing. Pairing, there is a special way to pair them, and if someone really wants that video, I will do that also later down the road. But that's my review of those sets. And as far as do I recommend them, yes. They usually, if you catch a sale on them now, you can usually pick them up for about $100, and that's a steal for these. Especially when compared to Beats at like $200, $300, and even remotely similar. And if you're a bass guy, these have the extra bass boost, which the Dre's don't. You just got what you got. But I do recommend these. Now these do have X with them, CSR. They are Bluetooth, near field communication, and compatible with Google Play. Now they are compatible with iOS 2. That's my review of the Sony MDRs950 BTs, and like I said, I do recommend these. So if you do happen to find them, like at Best Buy is usually the best pricing I found for them. Like I said, about usually around 100, 130, definitely pick them up. Now if they start to get to the full price of 200, it starts to get kind of questionable at that range.